Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today just want to share with you a quick video. If you're new to my channel, if you like this sort of thing, then please do subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. Any likes, comments, I would appreciate it too. Having said that, let's get started. Okay, so first job is to tape the paper to a board I've got, and this paper is Saunders Waterford, which you can get at a good price. I think it was a pack of 50 sheets this size. I can't remember the size, but it's slightly bigger than an A4. So it's a decent size. I think it's half imperial. I don't know, you'll have to let me know. I think the size of traditional watercolour paper is imperial size, and this is actually the paper cut in half. Where I get it from, you can get it cut to size free of charge, so that's something worth doing. Like I said, you get a pack of 50. Oh, I don't know, it might have been 25 sheets, but obviously I've got them cut down in half, so that probably give me the 50. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a good quality paper. I know a lot of artists use it, and it's quite a good price. Got nice texture on it too. Okay, so today I just wanted to do a simple landscape painting. So I think in this landscape we'll have a distant sort of mountains or hills, whatever you want. Just off in the distance there, and obviously we have land. Just trying to think what we can. Just trying to get an image in my head of what I want the scene to be. I think I'll do a couple of sort of layers to the scene, make it a bit more interesting, and then maybe this one closer to us. Okay, and we could have maybe a this way. Yeah, I think as I'm doing this, I'm just thinking of distance. So obviously the sky and this first sort of layer is far away, and then as we come closer to the bottom of the page, things are getting a little bit closer to us. So that's what I want to project in this painting, just a bit of distance. I've got my lines. I'll see what we come up with, and may add things as I go on. So I don't really have much of an idea, to be honest, of what we're going for, but let's just go ahead and see what we get anyway. Now I've got my mister bottle, nice to have, and you can see this is a watercolour palette that I put together myself. You can buy these little plastic holders, either half or full pan. You can get them in packs. You can get them, they're so cheap. You can get them on eBay, and that's where I got them. And I just, from tubes, emptied them into the palette itself. So I think this is a Windsor or a cadmium yellow. This is a cad yellow deep, I believe. And we've got yellow ochre, sap green, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, another yellow ochre because I use quite a lot of that, burnt umber, and then I think that might be a Payne's grey. So that's my palette that I'll be working from. The paper's slightly wet. Let's just add a bit more water to the page, to the paper, and we'll go ahead and start mixing up the first colour. So I'm going for a, you can see I'm just adding some of this ultramarine into this grey mud that I have already in my palette. It's not a bad thing using your palette like this. Stops messing around with things too perfect. Oh. And just add the colour in like that. So, and I do want to absolutely saturate this page, this paper, and we're just letting the water take the colour, and we're not really fussed if we get these things going on the page dripping right down. It doesn't really matter at this stage. Let's just pull some of that colour. You can see these like nice little saturation where the gradation is forming the paint. It's a nice effect. Just don't fight the watercolor. Just let it do its thing. And I am actually going to add some colour, some more colour to this. A bit more blue. I am actually something that I did buy, which is quite handy to have, is blue shop towels. I'm going to use these now just to lift as much as I wanted. I used to use toilet roll, maybe that is slightly better with watercolour, I don't know. But this shop towel is ideal for oil colours. Anyway, it has lifted some of the paint, and I'm going to go for some. I'm going to mix some more grey into that. I want a dull, subdued sky. I don't want it too bright or colourful. I'll add some clouds coming in. Soften what I put down. You can soften by just touching water to the paint you've just put in, and that gives a nice soft edge. Obviously clouds, you well, if you can have hard edges, but oftentimes it's nice to have a soft edge. There we go. I'm going to pull this pull this further down and let it come down on the page into the hills, and you'll see it doesn't really matter at this point. We're just looking at the first wash. So this is the first wash still, so let's just keep that going, and we can add more layers to it as we come down. No, I'm not liking the look of this. It's too hard, too defined. That's more like what I want. Okay, so I'm just pulling this down. And again, with watercolours, you do have to work quick. You can see it does dry fairly quick, and you want to get those colours down before they move around too much, depending on what you want, what look you want. As you can see, it's starting to dry just on the edges, and when it dries, that's when you get these hard edges. So I'm going to try and reduce that today, this painting, and there we go. I may actually want some hard edges just for the hills, the landscape, all the things that are going on. I think I'm going to leave that to dry and then come in and do some of the other layers. Okay, I've just let that, give that 5 minutes to dry, and I need a bit more water. And now I'm just going in with this layer of distant hills, mountains, whatever they may be. Here we go. You can see, by the way, maybe you can notice the paper has buckled. That's one of the things that happens, and that's another reason why sometimes I buy the artist blocks, because you get these pads. You get pads that are glued down on all 4 sides. You don't get this happen to you, but we'll just have to work with it. It's not the end of the world. Shouldn't really make too much of a difference. It's just something you learn to work with. Okay, so there's the first distant layer. Now, just to add a bit of interest, let me see if this works. I'm going to lift some of that, and I'm just doing that with a clean brush. Just take that pen right off. So I'm just lifting that off the page like so. There we go. Just adds a little bit of interest to the hills, and you can go in and add darker bits. You can just take lines off, things like that, as you can see. Makes things a little bit, give it a bit more interest. So there we go. Okay. I'm going to let that dry before let me just see if I can show you that so far. Okay, you can see this nice gradation coming down. You see where I've lifted, and just a bit here and there. Just add interest to the scene itself. So I'll leave that for a few minutes just to dry, and then I can go in and do the next layer. Okay, so just make some dull green, is what I could call it. I don't want it to be vibrant in any way, shape or form. So I use the yellow that I had in the, it was a dirty yellow I had in the pan, on the palette, sorry. And I just added some blue to that, and added blue, a bit more green, and that gave me this nice dull sort of colour. So as we're coming forward with the scene, we're going to just start bringing those colours a bit warmer and a bit darker. So I'm going to add, actually I'm going to add some more. I'm going to deepen this colour slightly. There we go. And that's what we want. And again, we can just have bits darker than others, just to add a bit more interest. And it also looks like the light coming onto the land. So you have those little highlights and dark areas. There we go. Add some of this yellow. Just drop some yellow to add interest. You don't want flat colour. You want to put as many colours in there as you want, as you can. As you can see, that gives a bit more interest. Now, this next sort of hill, the next layer, I'm going to warm that up. Some yellow ochre, some sap green, mix them together, get this dark, deep colour. A bit darker than that. So all the time as you're coming forward, you're strengthening the colour and make it a bit more saturated too. There we go. I'm going to switch brushes. I want the big brush again, bigger. I'm going to mix a lot of this colour. This colour, I just added a bit of alizarin crimson to it. And it gave me a nice golden brown sort of tone in it. Here we go. So I'm just coming down the page with that colour. It's quite a nice warm colour. Just going to get plenty of water on here now just to get this moving. And there we go. So that's that layer. Come right up to there with that. Okay, and now this sort of hill, I'm going to go quite a deep green. So I'm just adding this permanent sap green to that colour I just made. A bit of cad yellow to that. Okay, you need some more water just to get that. There we go. That's what we want. And it doesn't matter if these colours run into one. As you can see, as soon as you touch that colour, it just blends in. But that's not an issue. Don't let that put you off. We're going to go in and add more details, add some more things. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll put a few things in there. Maybe a cottage or a barn or something. I just want to show you how simple it can be. There we go. Now I'm going to let this dry and then go in and work some more. Actually, before I do that, I do want to add some yellow here and there, just to break that up and add some interest in there. We can add some of this brown. So it's just the colours that I've already made mixed up, just letting them come together on the page. A bit of blue. There we go. I'm going to dry the brush a little bit, slightly for this one. Just add in some grasses to this foreground, and you can see using the rigger or liner brush, and just add in, you don't want the grass to go all the same way, you want it to bend, you want different colours in there, you want it sort of all over the place, just to give some detail to the foreground, and just leave the background to fade out. Do as much or as little of this as you want. It can take a bit of time. I'll just relax with different colours, change it up, change the way the grass is going, and it can add quite effective. It can be quite effective, and also what we can do to this, I've just got a brush in my mouth, you can add splatters, and just be careful you don't get splatters up obviously in the sky as I have done before now, but just to give it a little texture, break up the painting, give it that feel of flowers and all sorts of things. You can see I've actually got that in the sky now. Okay, hope you like that video. For some reason, just been editing my video, this video, and it didn't capture the end. All I did was unmask the painting, and that was it really, but it just for some reason didn't capture it. So this is the finished painting. Hope you like it. Again, if you subscribe and like, I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.